This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Martin Bowers here at the new Peacock Gym. Martin, how are you doing first?
I'm fine, Andy. Yourself?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Obviously, I appreciate you allowing us all to come to see the new gym today. How long has this kind of been in the works?
Well, we started it when lockdown kicked in, but we've been thinking about it probably for the last 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, a long while in the process.
What was the thinking behind it? Obviously, we know the Peacock Gym's famous down where it's based. How come you've moved up here?
Well, to be fair, the site that we're on, we're going to develop, or we have been trying to develop for the last 5 years, and it's beginning to get nearer and nearer. So, please God, it happens, and we develop the site, and we keep a presence in Canning Town.
What's kind of the plan then with regards to the other gym? Do you think that will be sticking around for certainly the years to come? Or?
I don't know. We'll have to see how things pan out. Listen, the goalposts move with everything. Hopefully, we still have a presence in Canning Town.
Obviously, I spoke to Daniel earlier and I kind of asked him what's the plans with training camps. Will the guys be staying up in the new gym, or will they have to be travelling to and from where they're based in London? What's the plans?
No, to be fair, we'll be based here, but like all fighters, they have to train go to other gyms to train sometimes to spar and get that different feel. I mean, you don't want to be too comfortable in your environment all the time, and it's like being in your own living room. You need to go out to other gyms and you need to experience that.
Martin, moving on to Saturday night when Daniel steps in with Ricardo Snijders. Firstly, he was meant to face Eric Pfeiffer. Everybody's kind of spoken about the fact Eric never sent the right medical forms across. How frustrating is it for you guys with regards to your preparations?
Obviously, it's a little bit concerning, but listen, it happens. It's boxing. Anything can happen. You can get an injury. Anything can happen. So you don't prepare for that, but it's something that you get used to.
What are we prepared? Well, what are you preparing for in Ricardo Snijders come Saturday night?
Well, what I've seen of him, he's a very accomplished boxer, and I've probably said in another interview he's probably boxed about 111 rounds, I think it is, compared to Dan's 40 odd. So he's going to bring a lot of experience. He's probably boxed more rounds than Pfeiffer as a professional. That's taking up a weight fight because we know he's been a great Olympian and he's done the WBS and he is a quality act. I think he's going to bring freshness, and I think it's going to be a really good, interesting fight.
What have you been working on with Daniel specifically? What should we expect to see from him that might be different?
Next question.
How's Dan been looking in the gym?
Listen, Dan's been looking really well in the gym. Dan actually loves the gym. It ain't somewhere that he's like not comfortable to go or is not looking forward to. He's one of them boys you have to sort of throw out the gym. Luckily enough, his dad picks him up every day. So that's how we get him out of the gym. Otherwise, I think we'd have our work cut out.
I said to Dan earlier, obviously on the back of what was such a stunning upset this past weekend, everybody kind of talking about boxing once again. Is this a perfect opportunity for him to make his own statement and kind of capitalise on that talk?
No. Yes and no. I mean, that fight was a great fight in its own right. Look, for someone to get off the floor twice, to knock the other person out is a fantastic achievement, and I don't want to keep saying it, but Povetkin is a class act. We've got some great boxers in this country, but Povetkin is a class act. So what happened with Dylan is heavyweight boxing. It's a split-second sport, and just that one moment's lapse in concentration, and that's what happens, and that's why people love heavyweight boxing. So this weekend is a completely different fight at different levels, and it is what it is.
Just to touch on that uppercut from Alexander Povetkin, what was your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is I think it's, without just saying it because it's that, I think it's one of the best knockouts I've ever seen.
We know Frank's mentioned the potential bout between Daniel and Dillian at some point in the future. Is it something that you've ever thought about there?
Listen, as a fan you think of it, but as a trainer I'm not thinking of it because we're not there yet and we're not looking at that fight. And there's loads of dream fights, as we all know as fans. We all go, about him fighting him fighting him. Do they happen? Sometimes. Well, most of the time they don't, the ones that we want to see. Will it happen in the future? Time will tell.
My colleague Rob Tebbett spoke to Eddie Hearn yesterday, and Eddie said that he doesn't see certainly the Dillian-Whyte Dubois fight happening anytime soon, with Daniel contracted to Snijders and then Joyce, and then Dillian having the Povetkin rematch. But he did say he'd be up for a potential Dubois-Hrgovic fight down the line.
Great fight. We've had Philip over at the gym, and him and Dan have sparred quite a few rounds. Absolutely top draw fighter. It's probably further down the line, and I don't want to jump in the hurdles that we've not jumped yet, but I see that as a mega fight. That's a really good fight.
Would Hrgovic be a tougher test than Joe Joyce?
different sort of fighter. Listen, Joe, don't look at Joe and think anything bad about him. Listen, what Joe does is very effective, and he's got his own style and he's got his own way of doing things, and it works for him. It might not work for a fighter like Hrgovic because he's a different sort of fighter, but you prepare differently.
Final question to you, Martin, before I let you go. I can see Daniel getting ready to leave now. One thing that I've always seen with Daniel, he's always grounded, he's always been down to earth. He's never allowed kind of a limelight get to him. You've got a brilliant relationship with him, which everybody can see whenever we see you together. How do you go about kind of making sure that he doesn't allow himself to get distracted or get...
I don't think I've really got to work on that. Listen, Dan's very focused. When we first set out, you know, when we spoke to Dan probably 4 years ago now, and we were talking about turning professional, he had one dream in mind, and he's not changed.
How far off that dream do you think he is from achieving it?
Listen, we'll take one fight at a time, and I don't want to be saying, oh, whatever, I can't put a time on it, I can't put a date on it. Listen, we'll see. Time, again, without being rude, time will tell, you know, and he's still only a, you know, evolving fighter. Let's see.
Martin, we'll leave that there now, and we'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
No worries. You're welcome.